Hey guys, Scooby Steve here. Um, Gotten a little ways here. I've already cut this and notched it about 2 inches. There's a 6 inch by 2 inch, 1/8 inch plate rectangle tube, which is just a little bit thicker than that. So that'll go across there. I did get the fuel tank out. If you have to do that, unfortunately, you have to at least lower the front of the subframe, and that completely sucked. Mostly because the front ones here and there, the bolt snapped, which really sucks. I'm going to put a nut around it, weld it, and see if I can work them loose. Now that's all done, I just need to trim this, and you can see here, if I kind of line that up, it looks like that lines up right with the sunroof. But everything is out. I think I decided I want to do something kind of different with this here. Originally I was just going to cut it out and then plate it across the top. I think I'm actually just going to put my bar in here, and then this is going to be flat plated at the bottom, and then I'm going to build kind of a door across the top, so that way I have some storage here. Just for stuff that I really don't want on the outside of the Baja in this. So that way, leashes, dog toys, dog food, whatever I want to keep in there. I think I'm going to try to trim that headliner down, just so I still have a headliner in that, just so this doesn't look so raw on the inside. That way it still looks like somewhat of a creature comfort. Next thing, I just gotta go underside here and start trimming all of that stuff off of the bottom there. That won't be too bad. I just gotta remove all those lines, remove the filler neck, and then inside of here, just gonna trim that out so that way I can put a battery shut off there. I did decide what I'm doing back here. So that brace right there, this one here, I'm going to cut out and move over here, and then I'm going to cut out this whole square area and make kind of a drop-in box. That's where the battery is going to go for it, so that way I have power for the trailer. For a multitude of things that I've yet to decide really what I want to do, but I know I'm going to need a battery in it. So I'm gonna finish removing all that stuff underneath, and yeah, we'll be back. Alright, so I got the 6x2 in place. Now this is obviously a steel piece, not an aluminum. I thought about going with aluminum, but after seeing what happened to NS Extra when he hit a pothole with it and absolutely destroying the aluminum, I decided to keep steel on this section of it. I am going to go and get a 6x5 section here to weld to this. There's another 1/8 inch plate, and then I'll cut it to the size of this and then weld it to this bar, so that way I can just plate that and it'll all be one piece. I really should have just bought a longer piece, but it was cheaper to just buy flat plate for that little section rather than just buying some end pieces to weld onto there. Unfortunately, they're closed until Monday. Today's Saturday, so I'm not going to weld this in place today. I'm going to wait until I have those end pieces, get them cut, get them welded. And then I will start cutting out this pan. Alright, so it's Sunday here, next day. I've gotten the 6x2 actually welded in. I decided to do it today versus waiting, just because I wanted to get moving on it. And I mean, I can weld that in. I need to clean this up. I might hold off on capping it until I get that kind of sandblasted out or wire wheeled inside. I don't know. But it is all welded on inside. out in the bottom. The floor has been already removed. I spot weld drilled all of that, so it's all out. I need to finish that little corner and that little corner to drop out. I'm gonna cut this out too. Need to go buy a 2x2 steel for the tongue. That will actually pass through this all the way to the rear diff area. I'm going to use this to there. That's about 2 inches. So like more like a 2 and a 1/16 or so, but it should clamp fine on it. So that'll be able to go through there, and the tongue will go all the way back to the subframe. So that should be incredibly strong. I talked with my buddy last night who I was going to have weld the front on this. I do not claim to be a professional welder or know a whole lot. I mean, I can lay down a pretty good MIG weld, but you can't weld aluminum to steel, so plans have kind of changed with that. For the bottom here, I'm going to weld in a 18 gauge steel on the bottom, and then I will have an aluminum piece that'll go across the top here that'll act as a door that'll raise up. I can put dog toys, bowls, food, etc., etc. And then I will have him still TIG a pretty thin piece of steel across this to try to keep the weight down. I don't want anything too thin, but he's going to come look at it, see what he thinks on it. And once I get it back up and moving, I will take it down to him. I want to get the tongue on, but the subframe back in. I still haven't attempted to get these out. They're still in there. I need to go get some nuts and weld them on. But everything else is off of the bottom. And like I said, it's not too bad. There's definitely some rust. These are kind of thin. I might cut those out and just re-weld a section in it. That shouldn't be a big deal to do. But I got the fuel spout all out, so I need to figure out something. I might have to take all of this out for a battery shut off. That's as far as I've gotten so far. I did realize that I have this up here and I need to do something with it. Mostly I need to throw a brake light to probably keep it legal. Honestly, I don't know for a trailer if that's needed, but there's the wiring harness for it. I put this back in. I had taken both of them out. I decided that I'm going to make this so that when the doors open, the bed lights will come on. I thought about running a switch, but honestly, I've got that there and there's a hole for it. I might as well use it. Alright, so I'm going to start getting to work on the section in the bed. Now I decided that over here, between this channel and this channel, is where the mount is, or where it's pinch welded for that brace under there. Now the other one is actually on these two here. Now I believe that the only reason it's there is because, one, there's a muffler here, and then it needs to be that distance for the spare tire, which I've gotten rid of. It's not going to have a muffler, so I'm going to cut that piece out and move it over to match that side. Now I'm going to build a box out of aluminum with a little overhang. I'm going to cut on this side of the lower section so that way I can overlap this without raising the height of this. Obviously, since I can't weld it, it's just going to be panel bonded, which I doubt it will ever come off afterwards, which is fine. There is a small brace that runs from this one to that one. Again, I think it's only there because that's where the spare tire mounts to. So yeah, you can see that one there, how I can move it over. I'm gonna have to remove that little bracket there, but there is this small little brace, but it doesn't go from the edge. It just kind of pops out and under. So instead of going to the side of the mount, it just swoops up and under. So that shouldn't be a problem to cut out. Again, this is going to be panel bonded in with some aluminum. So that'll add a little rigidity to it as well. So I'm going to go on ahead and I'm going to get cutting here. Alright, so I got that all cut out. If you ever plan on doing anything like this, you can see this divot here. I cut on the lower side right here. I should have cut up here though, because I started to cut through the frame support there. It's already all re-welded. Also here, go shallow. Don't cut through like I did. That is all done. I will get some cardboard and go from the bottom of this to over here. That way I can figure out how far down I can make this box. I'll probably go a 1/2 inch above that, just so if I have anything that I need to screw or bolt into it, the screws or bolts aren't dragging on the ground. And then up here, I got one end piece already cut out. Fits real nice. I'm just gonna get that welded in. Once I kind of clean up the channel on the inside, I need to make the other side. I ordered the floor for this. I went with a 12 gauge 3 foot by 5 foot section. Again, I'll go from the bottom of here and just weld it, and then seam seal here will get welded to the front of this, and then I will have it scoop up at a 90 and go to this line. All of this will get cut out just because there's this here that I don't want to worry about stuff getting through. Technically I have the grommet, but the grommet had wire. They went through it. It's just easier to get rid of it. And then I will go and get probably an 1/8 inch aluminum piece to put across this little hinge off of this, so that way when I open the door I can lift it up, throw some stuff in there, whatever I need. So since this side wasn't so bad, I just hit it with some 80 grit sandpaper. It actually took all of it off. I was using some weld through primer. Apparently my nozzle is completely plugged. I tried to clean it. It's just straight peeing out. So I'm going to get this side welded. The other side though, it's going to really need cleaned out. I'll have to go grab one of those little wire wheels that I can put in my drill and stick in there as far as I can go and get that as clean as possible. So, just a quick little thing. I'm going to get this welded up real quick.